Chapter 4, Pain. Let's see how big of a dick these ponies are now. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity were very quiet after getting back on the path that led towards the castle of the Royal Pony Sisters. Twilight's mood was particularly dark. It was the first time she had killed a pony, even if it was a mercy killing. Not even Call of Duty? Wow, good job, Twilight, you saint. The act left a bitter taste in her mouth, and she knew Pinky's face and last words would haunt her in her sleep. Yeah, it was help me! That means help me! Help your damn friend! You... you never... Wish I could sneeze right now, and it would just be the best part of this entire story. Rainbow Dash and Rarity followed after her quietly after Twilight. Neither of them knew what to say. They knew what she did and knew she had a good reason. No, she didn't. You're idiots, too. Rarity lowered her head for a moment before speaking. Twilight, darling, are you going to be all right? She asked, concerned about her. Twilight didn't answer at first as they kept walking. She considered not answering at all for a moment before sighing and shaking her head lightly. I don't know, Rarity. I didn't want her to suffer. She was in so much pain. Even still, you did the right thing. No, she didn't do the right thing. People can survive without any legs. Yeah, she's in pain. I think she want to live. She's a very optimistic pony. There's no argument about this. You did not do the right thing, you dumb unicorn. You're lucky you're cute, Twilight. You're lucky I want to hug you. Rainbow Dash said, looking at Twilight then back at the ground. I want you to do it, if it was me. Because you're a coward. The thought of losing her legs or her wings terrified her since she was always so active. Yeah, that's why you killed yourself in Cupcake Chronicles, right? Oh wait, you're perfectly fine. Twilight stopped and turned to look back at Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Thank you, both, for trying to cheer me up. But what I did, I'm going to have to live with. Yeah, you'll be dying soon, it's okay. Twilight, dear, neither of us knew Pinky that well, but from what I do know of her, I don't think she holds any malice towards you. I would. You just killed me, woman. I hate you, Rarity said, walking over to Twilight and putting a hoof on her shoulder. Maybe, if we had gotten there sooner, we could have helped her. But what you did was the next best thing. Being eaten alive is a terrifying prospect for any pony. Then why didn't you help her? Rainbow Dash nodded in agreement, with Rarity and Twilight giving her a faint smile. Thank you, Rarity. I'll do my best to try and keep that in mind, Twilight said before turning to walk along the path. The group continued down the path until she reached a churning river in Twilight's side. How are we going to cross this? How was Stephen Magna going to kill Rarity? She knew Rainbow Dash could easily fly across and she could teleport, but she wasn't sure how Rarity would get across to the river being so rough. Well, Rainbow Dash is a tomboy. Pick her up and fly with her. I don't know, just a thought. They soon heard crying and started to look around before seeing a large serpent in the river, thrashing around and crying. Hey, I gotta do Stephen Magna's voice. What a world! What a world! The serpent says it thrashed its body in the water and bring its hands down into the water splashing. Excuse me, sir, Twilight said, looking up at the large serpent, Rarity and Rainbow Dash standing next to her. Why are you crying? Well, I don't know. I was just sitting here, minding my own business, when this tacky little cloud of blue smoke just whisked past me and tore half my beloved moustache clean off. The large serpent said, leaning his head down and pointing at where his moustache had been cut off. And now I look simply horrid! He continued before falling over into the river, sending a wave of water over the small group of ponies, soaking them and crying more. Oh, give me a break, Rainbow Dash said, looking annoyed at the drama. That's what the problem is? Why, of course it is, Rarity said, coming up next to Rainbow Dash, looking over at her. How can you be so insensitive? Oh, just look at him. Such lovely luminescent scales, Rarity continued, walking over to the serpent and rubbing his chin with her hoof. The serpent sniffs, looking at Rarity while his head rested on the bank of the river. I know! And your expertly coiffed mane. Rarity still looking up at him. He seemed to be pretty friendly, so she wasn't too concerned. Oh, I know! The serpent said, raising up and running a hand through his hair. Your fabulous manicure. Sorry, I think I'm manticore. Manicure. Rarity continued to smooth talk the large serpent, smiling up at him. Oh, it's so true, the serpent said, enjoying the faltering talk from Rarity. All ruined with your beautiful moustache, Rarity continued to speak, looking up at him. It's
true, I'm hideous, he said, covering his face with his arms. I simply cannot let such a crime against fabulosity go uncorrected, Rarity said, narrowing her eyes before leaning over and biting one of the serpent's scales firmly in her teeth and pulled it off. Oh! The serpent yelled, his mood changing dramatically, the pain from the scale being pulled out causing the serpent's friendly personality to change, and he gave a loud roar, looking down at Rarity, who held the scale in her mouth. Oh no! Rarity, run! That was pretty unemotional. That was sarcastic. Oh no, Rarity! Run! I won't save your life, but run! Twilight yelled, turning to run from the river. Rainbow Dash taken to the air and flying away. Rarity dropped the scale and turned to run, but she wasn't fast enough. The serpent's head snapped forward and grabbed Rarity's back leg, lifting her into the air. No! Let me go! She screamed in both pain and fear, feeling the teeth of the serpent biting into her leg. Rainbow Dash! Twilight! Somebody help me! The serpent grabbed Rarity around the front forelegs and pulled, ripping her back leg off, causing Rarity to scream in pain. He swallowed the leg and bit into her other leg and bite down on it, firmly tugging her again, turning her other leg and swallowing it. Rarity screaming out in pain again and called for help. Twilight stopped and turned, seeing what was happening to Rarity. She just stared in horror. She was too far away to do anything, but if she got closer, the serpent would easily grab hold of her. She closed her eyes tight and covered her ears, trying to drown out the cries of pain and calls for help. The serpent's other hand grabbed her around her stomach and back and lifted her up, staring into her face, eyes red with anger at the assault. Rarity looked at him in fear. Please, don't! I didn't mean to hurt you! She stammered out in pain and desperation. The serpent didn't seem to want to listen. He tossed her into his mouth and started to chew her up, still alive. Her muffled screams of pain slowly started to die down as the chewing finished her off. After a few moments, her eyes returned to normal and he sank back into the water. Once again, Twilight, bolt of lightning. You could have used it, but nah. Just let our friends die. See you later, folks. That's all.